Good morning, everybody. So here we are in our 7th week of lockdown, and I'm still in my recovery from this virus, which is why I'm a little bit breathless. So this class is going to reflect that and be quite a slow pace, and that's also good for anyone else who's also recovering, or if you're feeling a bit impinged by what's going on. It's quite nice to do things on a slower, more aware level, and that can be quite calming and helpful. So let's just start off with a little warm up. So we'll take our feet hip distance. And let's just start off by having a little jiggle around, and we're just moving gently from foot to foot and just giving the hands a little shake. And just beginning to become aware of our breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Lovely. And then we'll start just shaking our hands. It's like you're sending the shake down into the hands. Keep breathing. And do a little circle with the hands, so you're circling one direction. See if you can keep the shoulders relaxed as you do that. And then change the circle direction of the hands. So we're circling the other way. Keeping the breath going. So it's just the hands that we're doing, Richard, just the hands. Quite fast, and then bring them forward. So we're just shaking the hands. Breathing. Just shaking out any stress or anything you want to shake out. Just think about shaking it out. And then go really, really fast. As if you're trying to shake your hands off. Lovely. Whoa, feel it quite zingy in your hands. Okay, and then from there, let's just inhale. Bring the shoulders up to our ears. And exhale down. So we're going to do that breathing in to lift up, and actually we're going to let's breathe out through the mouth to go down. Okay, and then we'll take it into rotation. So as we rotate our shoulders, we can also bend the knees, sinking up and down. I mean, sinking down and then coming up. Lovely. So you can choose, if you want to breathe out through the mouth, it's quite a good way of really being aware of letting go of any tension. You can do it breathing out through the nose, but when you go through the mouth, it helps that process. So we're going to go the other way now. So up, forward, back, down. And then we're just gently bending the knees and straightening. Great, and then release. And let's just finish going the other way. So we're going to go back and down and just bring the arms out to the side. Turn our palms, take a breath in. And as you exhale, just lift up the arms, just make a Y shape. And inhale, turn the palms back down and come down. Inhale up. Turn your palms, exhale wide. Turn your palms, inhale down. Up, turn, wide. Turn, down, all the way down. And down. Lovely. Okay, so if you felt already by the time of doing a Y, it made you feel a bit tight in the shoulders, just stay with Y. But if you felt okay, we'll go all the way up, parallel arms, fingers to the ceiling. If you're doing Y shape, just stretch from there. And then down. And again, inhale up, parallel arms or Y. And down. And again, up, turn, parallel, drop the shoulders. And down. Lovely, good. And then release. Okay, we'll just take our feet a little bit wider. Let's bring right arm up, stretching up to the ceiling. Just feel that stretch, and then if you like, you can lean a little bit to the left. Sliding the left hand down. Feeling that stretch up through the right side of the body. And release. Left, stretching up. And release. Let's do one more time. Stretch up with the right. Stretch up with the left. And release. And then we'll take our legs wider, bend our knees. And then elbows on the knees. You can let your bottom go up and back behind you. Okay, and then hands on the knees. Push your hands, no, wait a minute, we're going to the right. Stretch your left leg. Change, going to the left. Stretch the right inner thigh. And then we'll change back to the first side. Just feel that little stretch here, don't go too far. And then back to the second side, feeling that stretch. So you're feeling it on the straight, inside of the straight leg. Lovely. And then back to center, both hands on the knees. And then push through your hands to come up into standing. Great. Okay, so finding a wall, if you want to have a wall, or you can have a chair nearby. We're going to do our tree pose. So standing, in this case, on the left leg, bringing the right leg up. If you have a wall, you can just be lightly touching the wall behind you. So don't lean into the wall, and try and see if you can not have your body touching it, just the tips of your fingers. Or if you're using a chair, just light touch, and then you can see if you can let go. But if you need to, you've got your chair, you can come back to. Then we'll try and see if we can get the arms up, turn palms, make a big Y shape. Those of you that can then take the, dropping the shoulders, can bring the inner arms closer to the ears. So just use something to put your hand on, Trish, if you're struggling with the balance. Dropping the shoulders. Get a feeling of the heel going into the thigh, thigh into heel, shoulders down. And then release. And another thing to think about for those of you that are watching this after the event and are having the same breathlessness issue, the way that you can do it, you can still work your poses, but then perhaps don't add the arms. So don't do arms and legs, but if you can just do legs, you're still getting some benefit, but you're not overstressing your body with having to do extra arm work, which makes your heart work harder, your lungs work harder. Okay, so we're going to go to the other side. So we're standing on our right legs, try and get as much as possible. We want this right hip over the right ankle, which is hard to achieve, to be fair. And then fingertips on the wall or on the chair, and then you can just work to release, and then when you're ready, if you feel able, you can just have the arms out to the side, but then if you want to take the arms up, but be aware if you have issues with breathing, then you may want to just do it without the arms raised. You can still put the arms to shoulder height, but as soon as you take them up like this, it's giving you quite a bit of extra work in your body to maintain. Breathing, shoulders down. Keep dropping the shoulders, straightening through the arms. There's always one elbow that that doesn't want to straighten. Keep dropping the shoulders. And that heel goes into thigh, thigh into heel. Lovely. And then calming down. Great, lovely. Okay, so we're going to bring our chair up to the top of our mat again. And we're going to stand with the feet 3 to 3.5 feet apart. So just turn our right foot towards our chair and bring that back foot slightly forward. And then we're going to hinge at the top of that right leg. So we're using our chair. So you can find what works for you. You want to keep both sides of the waist in even length. So it could be that you need to have your hand a little bit higher in order to keep a nice straight spine. But if you can come lower, that's fine. And some of you, if you're very flexible, obviously can go lower, especially if you haven't got cramp. Okay, and then bringing the arms up, shoulders away from the ears, and we're breathing. So again, you can do this keeping one arm down. If you're working with compromised breathing, shoulders away from the ears. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Great, now taking that top arm and bringing it onto the chair, let's rotate. Just make sure that your feet, you've got hip distance between your feet, and then we are going to turn our hips to face our chair. So you can go further away if you want to get a real stretch. Again, it really depends on what your back's up to. You may need to be nice and high for this, because what we want to do is have our spine straight rather than in a humpy shape. So you just find a nice position for yourself. Shoulders away from the ears, down and coming forward. And breathe. So it should feel good, and you'll feel the stretch in the back leg. And then the lower you go, the stretch will transfer to the front leg. So let's just hold this for a few more breaths. Breathing in through the nose. Out through the nose. Okay, now rotate onto your back foot, so turn your back foot so it's pointing forward. I'm just going to bend the front leg and then just transfer your weight to the front leg. And just see if you can't bring that back leg up. So your hips are parallel and they're pointing down to the floor. Shoulders away from the ears. So just hold for a few breaths, breathing in through the nose. Lovely. See if you can tuck your lower abdomen in. You can always have your back foot resting on something, which still gives you the benefit, but you're spreading the weight distribution more. Lovely. One more breath. Great. And then we'll bring that foot down beside the other one. And then we'll just take that into Uttanasana, forward bend. So we're hanging, and it could be that you feel more comfortable hanging higher. So we're looking for ease, basically. Let the head drop. You can use your chair to support your head or your arms if that feels nice. And then we're just going to try and get a feeling of relaxing the neck. And we're breathing in through the nose. Okay, now bend your knees a little bit and slide the crown of the head forward. At the same time, let the shoulders move away from your ears. Take the hands on the chair or on the top of the chair, and then come up really slowly all the time, bringing the sternum forward, and then you can bring the hands back behind you to come all the way up. Lovely. Okay, so we'll do that to the other side. I'm going to keep my chair this side so you can see the movements from the back as well. So we are. Is that going to work? No, it's not going to work. Right, we're going to swap the chair. Take the chair to the left. And we've got our feet 3 to 3.5 feet apart. Left foot out, facing towards the chair, and just bring your right foot slightly forward. Okay, and then we're hinging at the top of that left leg. You can bring the hands onto your chair. You can use your wall or have your hands lower if that's working for you. If you're more flexible, then obviously you can go lower. So we are going to open the chest, and then we can just let that arm go up. If you're feeling a little bit breathless today, if you're recovering from this virus, then you can obviously just let the hand go down if that feels better for you. Breathing. This also works for people once you get heavily pregnant, your body's having to work hard, your heart's having to work hard. So you can still do all of the yoga poses, but if you find yourself tiring, then just let your arm come down so that you're just working the lower half, you're working the legs. Once you add the arms, you're giving your body more work to do, you're giving your heart more work to do. So you can always not do that. Lovely, and then we're going to turn, so both hands on the chair, turn your back foot, and we are facing the chair now. Lovely straight spine. You can have the hands wherever you need them to be. shoulders away from the ears. See if you can get a feeling of lengthening the spine. So your sternum's coming forward. That's it. Nice, Kirsten, lovely. That's it, Ruth. Beautiful. John, lovely. Shoulders away from the ears, Richard. That's it, lovely. Bringing the sternum forward. Breathing. So let's hold for 3 more breaths. Might notice that as you go down more, the weight, the stretch transfers from the back leg to the front leg. Okay, so now we're going to bend that front knee, turn your back foot, rotate your back foot, bend the front knee, and we're just transferring the weight to that front leg. Have your arms where you need them to be to give you support. So you're spreading the weight through your hands and that one leg, one standing leg. Shoulders away from the ears. Send the crown of the head away. Let's see if we can hold for 3 more breaths. And to come down, we're going to bend that front leg, placing the foot back on the floor and then bringing both feet together, but hip distance apart. And then we'll just do our Uttanasana, forward bend. You can use the chair to help you. And obviously, as you get more, if you are pregnant and you get more advanced in pregnancy, you'd be more comfortable having the legs wider so you're not squishing your tummy. See if you can feel this as a relaxation. Lovely. And then to come up, we're going to just bend our knees, let the sternum come forward. You can bring the arms behind you to come up. Okay, right. We're going to just want to do a little stretch, but with the chair to help us. So let me just work this out. So we're going to have the chair handy, and then bring your left foot forward, right foot back. Just bend your right knee, and you can have your hand on the chair to support you. And then we've got our right leg behind us. We're going to take our right arm up. Keep that knee pointing forward, your left knee, and then just stretch that right leg up. Stretch the right arm over to your left. So you want to feel that stretch up through the hip flexor. So you can actually start to go slightly back if that gives you a better stretch. See if you can keep the back heel pressing down. Use your chair to support you. So what we're looking for is to get that feeling of stretch there. Breathing. Lovely. And then release. Did you all feel that? Yeah? Right, we'll change side. So facing our chair, bring the right foot forward, bend the right knee. So you can just use your right hand on your chair to support you. Try and keep that back heel pressing down as much as we can. And then bringing that left arm up, we're going to take the left arm to the right. And just get as much stretch up here first and then start to go over. If you like, you can take the hand further back. Just find a nice stretch that works for your body. Keep that right knee coming forward. See if you can really hit back with the left thigh. Yeah, the left thigh. Great, and then release. Okay, lovely. Right, from there we're going to just do one more standing, which a lot of you enjoy. I'm going to show this way. So we've got the chair in front of us, and we're just going to take our legs wide and hinging over our chair. So you can have your hands high. What we want is to get a nice straight spine. So just have your hands wherever works for you. Those of you, if you can hinge more, you can go lower. So don't go so low that it means that you start hunching your back. So don't go as low as that, Richard. Come up a bit. See if you can keep your shoulders away from the ears. That's lovely, John. Yeah. And really stretching through the legs. Nice stretch here. Breathing. So now come up a little bit and just let your elbows go out to the side and bring your sternum forward so that you can get more of a stretch through the upper back. Feel that lengthening. That's it. Nice, Richard. Feel that lengthening through the upper back. Breathing. So if you're trying to give this, like you're trying to bring your sternum forward and up. Let's hold for 3 more breaths. Yeah, that's it, Ruth, exactly. So you want to get higher than your kind of maximum position. And this way you can really begin to feel that upper back. Let the sternum come forward. Let your shoulders go back. Can you feel that into the thoracic spine? Okay, and then you can just bring your feet a little bit closer together. Some of you can get your hands on your hips. Sorry, my chair's annoying. And bring your feet together. Great, lovely. Okay. So we're not quite done with the chair because we're going to use it for this next position. So we're heading down to the floor and we want to kneel. And if we have our chair behind us, you can, I've got a bit of a lip on my chair, so that's not so handy, is it? Now take your your ankles wide as your knees, and then we're going to just think about lengthening the sternum up, catching the chair. So we're opening the spine. Now don't worry about going back, just think to begin with about going long. So you want to lengthen from pubic bone to sternum. Nice. And then if you find that easy, you can obviously go further back, but don't rush for that. See if you can think about letting the sternum move up. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Very nice. Lovely, nice, Richard. And then to take a rest, you can go into, just lean forward. You can land on a bolster. Or if that's not very comfortable for you, you can always tuck your toes under and just come forward a little bit. Just whatever works for you, but if you can go all the way down, then that's great. So let's just take a moment in this position, which is called pose of the channel, to think about softening the front of our rib cage down onto our thighs. Lovely. And then gently coming up, let's do this gentle back bend again. So having your back to a chair, and then just think about lengthening up through from pubic bone to sternum, long as you can be. And if that feels okay, you can then lean back to catch your chair. If you find catching a chair feels a bit tight, you can use a wider chair, like maybe a sofa or something, and then just have your arms wider. Or you can have two chairs if you're using like a kitchen chair or something. Now, if that's okay for you, then you can start to take the arms lower. And in fact, where are they? Too far away. You can use blocks. I'll just get my blocks. You can also use blocks if you want to go a little bit lower, and then again getting that lift up through the sternum. Breathing. Come on, Richard, work that. Bring your sternum up. So you want to bring the pubic bone forward, sternum up. Okay, now just let go with what you're holding, but keep the position, just take the arms out to the side. Ah, that's lovely, Hazel. Breathing. Keep bringing the sternum forward, Victoria. Stretching through your arms. And then inhale, come up. And just move your chair out of the road rail. Go back into that forward position, whichever works for you. Just find your own pose of the child. If you can have your knees together and your tummy on your thighs, then fine, but you can have your knees wide. You can have your hips lifted off your heels. You can always tuck your toes under it as well. And then gradually, we're just going to settle the breath, settle our ribs onto the tops of our thighs. See if you can find something to put your head on if it's not reaching the floor. Maybe get your blanket or a cushion. Can you feel the rib cage settling more onto your thighs? And notice as that happens that the back ribs can relax, and also the lower back can relax. For some people, taking the body that low isn't really an option, so you can also put something underneath. Between your body and your legs, so that you are getting the benefit of that pose in a way that is perhaps more doable for you. And this is also coming up a little bit is really nice if you're feeling any tension in the lower back. Just by lifting your body a little bit more, you can start to relax more easily. Letting your weight drop heavily onto, and then once you've done that for a little bit, you'll find if you take your, whatever you were using, in this case my bolster, away, you may well find that you can move into a fuller pose without any bother. All right then, and from there we'll come up. So let's come off our knees, and if you just move that chair away. So I'd like to do our pigeon pose. So you need to start off down your mat. Crossing our legs. So there's different ways in. If you want to do the little frisky way, cross your legs and then come onto your hands and knees. We're going to slide that right knee forward, taking the right foot out to the side if it's going. Using our hands to support us. And then if that feels okay, you can take the forearms on the floor. or you can just stay high. And then you're working the hands slightly more. And then we're going to, since we've been doing a little bit of a warm-up back bend, let's see if we can do the back bend in this. So if you can take your hands back up, see if you can let go. And if you can let go, you can catch your hands, squeeze them together. Really push your hands away. Bring your sternum forward. Lovely, Hazel. Now you can use your belt if you're catching your hands is too strong a stretch. You can use your belt and push your belt away instead. 3 more, Brian. Bring the sternum up if you can. Or indeed, you can just keep your hands on the floor but keep bringing the sternum forward. Lovely, and then release. Hands on the floor, tuck your back foot under, and we'll just go into dog. Let's get a little stretch in our downward dog. Stretching through that bent knee. Through the knee that was bent is what I meant to say. So a nice easy dog, just as a way to stretch out the legs. And then we're going to bring that left foot forward, so you can bring that left foot in over to the right if that works for you. Rotate your hips towards the floor. And then just go where you need to go. It could be that you're up. You stay up. Some of you are quite happy. You can let the body go on the floor. And actually, especially if you're heavily pregnant, you can do the same thing, but use a chair to support you, and that way you're not squishing your tummy. But you're still getting a nice stretch through your hip flexor. So there's lots of variations depending on each individual circumstance. Some of you can get your head down. Lovely, and then we're going to slide up again. So I've got my belt handy now to show you the belt variation. So we're going to see if we can let go with the hands and then clasp the hands behind the back and open the chest. But if you find clasping quite hard, you can use your belt. If you make a loop with your belt, it actually is going to help you get your balance in this pose. So because you put your hands through the belt and then pushing the wrists into the belt actually gives you more stability in the pose. Really nice to feel that working through the upper back. So make your belt as long as it needs to be. Richard, if you're using your belt, just make your loop, or if you just get your belt and make a loop, and that'll help you with that pose. Yeah. Bringing the chest forward, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Lovely, and then release. So Richard, if you just carry on doing that, and the rest of us will take that into our dog. So tuck your back foot under. Yeah, carry on, Richard. Yeah, good. And the rest of us will just unwind in a dog, downward dog. Bringing your shoulders closer to your wrists so that you can lift up without straining your shoulders. And then once you're up, think about lifting from the sit bones, beginning to take the sit bones up and back. And then you might go further into it. Some of you can drop your heels down. Let the ears slide down towards the thumbs. Lovely. And then we're going to come down so you can come into, we'll go back to the floor. You'll need your belt. And we'll just do a little wind down. So we're going to bring the right ankle in front of the left knee, and we can use the belt around the knee, or we can catch. Another way to do that is using our chair or a wall. This chair is not clean ball. By having your foot on the chair or the wall, and that way you can still get something happening, but you're not having to squish here. Think about having a marble in your navel, and you're wanting to move that marble towards the pubic bone, and that helps to give you a slightly stronger action in the right glute. And sliding the ankle down towards your hip also it increases the stretch in that right glute. Breathe. Great, and then let's change leg. Again, using the wall if that's going to work better for you. Especially good to use the wall if you're quite heavily, well, you wouldn't be doing this if you had your hand. Okay. So you've got your marble on your navel, roll the marble towards the pubic bone. Feel that little glute stretch now in the left glute. You can slide your ankle down towards your hip if you want to feel more stretch. Great, and then unwind that, and then we're going to bring the knees up to the chest, and then just let our knees roll to the right side, landing onto some blocks or your bolster. But you rotate your left shoulder to keep it onto the floor. And just be as high as you need to be so that you're not stressing your body. You might notice the stretch in the hips. You might feel it more in the upper back. Nice, and then we'll switch over to the other side. So switch your blocks, bring the knees up, take the knees over to the left. You rotate into the right shoulder. See if you can relax across the back of the neck, back of the shoulders. Just allowing the breath to fill your belly on that inhalation. Nice. And then from there, let's get our cushions or bolster. And we're going to put them under the knees. You can just make what adjustments you need so that your back feels as most comfortable. When you have your knees raised a little bit when you're lying flat, you'll find that it helps your lower back to slightly lengthen, and it really can help if you've got any issues there. So let's keep our shoulders tucked under. And then if you want to put your blanket on so you're not cold. I know some of you, we are still in Scotland. And also just do put something under your head if you find that your chin is sticking up in the air. So just raising your head slightly will bring your chin into a good alignment, bring your neck into a good alignment. So we're just going to follow the breathing now, allowing the weight of the body just descend onto our mat. As we breathe, just gently breathe as you would. Don't try and control the breath, but rather just notice the rise and fall as you inhale and exhale. With every exhalation, seeing if you can just allow the weight of the body just to descend a little bit more onto our mat, onto the ground, allowing the ground to support us. Lovely, and then from there, we're just going to gently take a deep breath, bring our awareness back to our body lying on the mat. So moving our fingers and toes, stretch the arms and legs. And just have a big stretch and then just move away whatever you were using. I'm going to roll onto one side. Okay, let a bit of cushion undo. Oops. Bit of cushion under your ear. Lovely. I don't like to force you up. If you're watching this video again, or if those of you that are watching this not live, you can always put a pause on so you get a longer relaxation. But for the rest of us live, I'm afraid we're going to sit up now. You don't have to sit up. You can stay where you are if you're enjoying it. And great, lovely, well done everyone. So we'll just finish together now. Taking our hands together and just feeling the connection of our palms, feeling the warmth of the thumbs on the sternum. Lovely, thank you so much.